Today's bag of popcorn is brought to you by Rakuten, formerly known as Ebates. And if you're looking to get a little bit of cash back on your everyday purchases, head over to popcornfinance.com/cashback to get $10 back on your first purchase. Hey, this is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, the show where we discuss finance and about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. I appreciate you all coming back and joining me for another episode, and today we're going to be following up on last week's episode where I answered a question from Jordan who wanted to know what are my thoughts on these online bank accounts that are popping up, seems like every month, from companies like Stash and Betterment. So if you didn't catch that episode, definitely recommend you go back and check that one out. And a quick note that I received from a listener after that episode went live, Jacob Benoit, aka @AtmosFan on Twitter, said, I'd add a note that credit unions are insured by the NCUA, not FDIC. Same protections, just different entities. And thank you, Jacob. I really appreciate you sending that note over there because no, I did not mention that because I pointed out that I'm a big fan of credit unions because of their low fees and really great customer service. But I didn't clarify that when I mentioned FDIC insurance, which means that, your deposits are covered up to $250,000, that's specifically for banks. So credit unions, if you're not familiar with them, they are a not-for-profit financial institution that operate pretty similarly to a bank, but their deposits are covered by a group called the National Credit Union Association. That's where the NCUA comes from. So Jacob, thanks for that note, and hopefully that clarifies that for all of you out there. So don't go to credit unions looking for FDIC plaques anywhere inside of their offices because you're not going to find it. But today I wanted to go over my pros and cons for opening up an online-only bank account, because there are a few things you should think about before you hop into one of these accounts. All right, so let's jump into the pros first. Pro number one, no additional fees. With a lot of these traditional bank accounts, you have to worry about things like monthly account fees, overdraft fees, ATM fees. The list of fees can go on forever. So that is the nice part about these online accounts. You have to worry about being blindsided by so many fees. Pro number two, higher interest rates. This goes for not only the savings accounts, but also the checking accounts. And the reason for this is that these online accounts are from companies that don't have a physical presence. So they don't have the overhead of a bank branch and employees and all these other things that go along with having a presence that you can actually show up to. So for that reason, they can pass that savings on to you, the consumer, through higher interest rates. Pro number three is no minimum balance. And so this goes for when you're opening the account. A lot of these accounts allow you to open it with $1. And this also goes for the maintenance of the account. So there are some banks that require you to maintain an average minimum balance. And if you don't, they hit you with a fee. So the nice thing about some of these online accounts is that you don't have to worry about that part of things. You are starting to see this requirement go away even in the traditional brick and mortar banks, but it does still occur with some organizations. So that's why I'm going to still leave this in here as a pro. And the fourth and final pro is that there are a lot of new and exciting features that these accounts are introducing into the market, such as receiving stock as a bonus for using the account, or even traditional cash back. I've even seen some of these accounts advertise that you'll get your direct deposit 2 days earlier than when it normally would show up. And if a fancy debit card is your thing, these accounts have you covered, and they have all kinds of metal, fancy engraved debit cards that you can throw in your wallet and I guess impress people when you pull them out. All right, now let's move on to the cons, because there definitely are some downsides to these online accounts. I think the first and biggest con is it can be difficult to get cash into the account. So if you're someone who gets a lot of cash from friends or family that you end up having to put into your bank account, there's not really a easy way to get that money into the account. So this means that you're probably going to have to maintain an account at one of the brick and mortar banks in order to have an easy and convenient way to get the money into the online account. In some cases, there are partner ATMs that you can go to that will allow you to deposit money into your bank account, even though that's not a branded ATM for your bank. But there are sometimes fees associated with making this deposit. One of the other options I've seen is that you have to actually go to another bank or to like a grocery store and buy a money order or cashier's check and then use the online check deposit feature to get that money into your account. But the downside again is that there can be fees associated with buying these money orders or cashier's checks. So if you're someone who deals with a lot of cash, you may want to really research your options before opening one of these accounts. And since we're talking about cash, con number 2 is how easy is it to actually get cash out of your account? When you do go to an ATM to get some cash, a lot of these companies are offering to reimburse you for your ATM fees. But read the fine print because it may not cover you in all situations. But one little side note to this is that even traditional brick and mortar banks have these fees as well. So if you try to go to a Chase ATM with your Wells Fargo debit card, chances are you're going to be hit with several fees to make that transaction work as well. So I'll put an asterisk next to this con. And the third and final con is these accounts do state that they are free in most situations, but it may be tied to another type of investment account that you might have to hold. So in some of these situations, I've seen that they offer a free checking account. However, you do have to maintain an investment account with them as well. And those investment accounts come with monthly fees. They're not huge fees, but it is still a fee. So that's why I'm going to throw this in there as a con. And that is my list of pros and cons for opening an online-only bank account. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you think about these types of accounts. Are you for them? Are you against them? You can let me know over on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Just search for Popcorn Finance, or you can send me your response directly via email at questions@popcornfinance.com. And one more thing before I get out of here, I am working on a special episode and I need your help. I am looking for answers to this question. What is one financial fear that you have? And this could be anything from fear that I'm not saving enough money, that I might not be able to get out of debt, that I'll never be able to pay off my student loans. Whatever it is, let me know because I will be incorporating these answers into a special episode. And I'm specifically looking for voice responses. So to send me a voice message with your answer, head over to popcornfinance.com/voicemail and you can leave me an answer directly from your phone. You don't need any special equipment. You can just hold your phone up to your face like you're making a phone call or like you got it on speakerphone, whatever works for you, and then send me your answer. It could be short, it could be 20, 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be super long. I'm just looking for your answers and I want to incorporate you, the listeners, into the episode. So thanks for your help and I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. As always, I appreciate you all joining me here for another bag of popcorn. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, boy, keep it poppin' like Mary Poppins.